What's up? What's up? What's up? We back. We back. We back. We back. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hey, TMZ just broke a breaking story on Diddy, yo. Yeah, we gotta come to some type of understanding, yo. When you comment, yo, in my chat, elaborate. What's up, bud? Like, I try to do my best at elaborating every situation on all my takes. And then a person will come in the comments and just leave a blanket statement. Oh, you hating? Well, you got to explain that, bro. Like, what do you... Don't just say I'm hating and don't explain your stance. You know, I always explain my stance on every situation. See, and then when you tell them to explain it, they can't never explain it. Like, man, I should just delete the message. The fuck, you can't explain your position in that. Lead lady. Man, they say that Cassie video ain't right. That's the feather. He said it ain't right, man. Did he fuck around Ray? I told y'all from the beginning that I don't even know if the plan was for Diddy to go to jail. I honestly think the plan was just to take his money, shame his name. You know, I don't listen to Young Boy, bro. TMZ talking about it now. Hold on, let me show y'all. So let me pull it up. They just dropped the story 15 minutes ago. Diddy defense says CNN destroyed the Cassie tape. Now, y'all, this tape, I don't know how this will work, because this tape really has no burns on the case. But they used this tape all throughout this process to keep Diddy detained. Appreciate it, Grinder 22. So they used this tape this whole time to keep Diddy detained. So let's see what's CNN. So I ain't watching yet.
Story and on the website. Unbelievable story. Remember the Cassie video? This is Diddy beating Cassie in the hallway of the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles back in 2016. Everybody assumed this video was going to be a really important part of the federal case, even though he's not being charged for this. The prosecution wanted to play this video to the jury in the federal case. I do not think that's going to happen, because CNN, according to the defense, altered this video before it aired it and has now destroyed the original. Like I said, unbelievable, if true, that original copy.
Yo, that's dirty. That's about dirty as it gets. They released the altered version of the video. So we don't even know what really happened. They used this video to publicly shame this man. And mind you, what he did was bad. But sequence matters. Sequence definitely matters in every situation.
Important part of the federal case, even though he's not being charged for this. The prosecution wanted to play this video to the jury in the federal case. I do not think that's going to happen, because CNN, according to the defense, altered this video before it aired it and has now destroyed the original. Like I said, unbelievable, if true, that original copy of that video.
And that goes into how CNN got this tape. I told you this tape was leaked. The Feds, Homeland Security, or somebody gave CNN that tape. They wanted Diddy so bad. They wanted Diddy so bad that they rushed the process. They didn't even record the tape. As soon as they got that tape out of Diddy house, they sent it straight to CNN. Straight to CNN. Fuck around, ruined their whole, fuck around, ruined everything. But that lets you know that this tape was given to them by the Feds. If y'all remember, I showed y'all per the dates that this tape didn't get released until after Diddy house got raided. The house got raided. Next thing you know, we get a tape that showed Diddy. They leaked the tape. That's evidence that they leaked the tape. Because they didn't get a copy. They got the original version.
Has been destroyed. I can't even get into why it would have been destroyed. But the bottom line of the case, as you say, is if that's true, it's going to be a huge hurdle in the prosecution getting this admitted. It's not going to get admitted. But let's get into what happened. Now, there is a joint letter that was filed today in federal court by both the prosecution and the defense regarding evidence. Now, this portion of the letter involving the Cassie video, it was the narrative is from the defense. Right. So let's get into what the defense is saying. So here's what they say about the tape. They say CNN purchased the only known copy of the hotel surveillance footage, uploaded that footage into a free editing software, altered the video, and then destroyed the original footage, even though it knew about and repeatedly reported about the federal investigation. Okay, that is breathtaking for a couple of reasons. Number one, I mean, obviously, they paid for it and then destroyed it. But between paying for it and destroying it, according to the defense at least, it was altered. They did not air the full version. They said they sped it up, they took things out of sequence. Right. And that's, if true, it is shocking.
It is true.
Speeding up it, the editing of it is not shocking. As long as the out of sequence. And that
didn't I just say that?
Depending on what they were.
Didn't I just say that sequence matters? Sequence matters, man.
Alleging they're trying to tell there, but again, I cannot fathom a reason that they would destroy the original. I get that you upload it, you're going to edit, and I agree with you that it seems to me
because they know they got it from bad sources. They know they weren't supposed to have that tape, so they try and cover their ass, thinking that the feds or whoever leaked it to them had another version. That's the only reason you destroy the tape. That's evidence. The only reason they would destroy the tape is because they know they got the tape from people that they weren't supposed to get the tape from. But they was thinking that if you gave us this, you have to have a copy. And that goes into the feds rushing. That goes into them rushing to get this out there just to paint a picture on a man.
Thing to do would just air the entire thing. Air the raw. Yeah. But even if you do edit it, why destroy the original? So there's more here, according to this letter, referring to the editing. And this is where the defense says the video also includes speeding up the video to make it falsely appear that the actions in the video are taking place faster than they are. As a result, the CNN videos do not fairly and accurately depict the events in question. So I gotta say, on that part, I understand if you take it out of sequence, that can definitely change some of the narrative. And we don't know all the details as far as what was happening in that hotel room before Cassie walked out. I think the intimation, Charles, is this. I think that there was a freak-off allegedly going on in their hotel room. She is trying to leave. Well, that's what you think from the video. It may be that the dispute they were having that caused Diddy to get violent the way he did not necessarily involve the freak-off, and that there might be more that would explain other things. As it pertains to the federal indictment,
remember,
that's what really matters. That's exactly.
Diddy defense team said she was trying to take his stuff. That's why he chased her down like that. She spit on him and was trying to take his things. That's their narrative.
Horrible and horrific as this beating is, it's not what he's on trial for. That is a state matter, and so that's the violence of the beating and the statute of limitations is run. Right. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to go back to the video and the allegations about the deletion. I really want to know, and we're going to have to hear from CNN, and they will be called to testify.
By the way, we've reached out to them. We haven't heard yet.
So eventually they'll be called to testify, and in that, they're going to have to talk about what was on that video originally. It could be that the original had, remember, this is hallway surveillance, a static camera in the hallway. So it could very well be that there was 10 minutes or 15 minutes of just static hallway footage beforehand. There's no reason why they deleted the original. That is inexcusable.
What my information is that the Intercontinental Hotel, it was in Century City. They closed that down, and it's a new hotel now. So there's nothing that anybody can go to.
Not going back to any server.
No,
it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
I guess the point I'm making is that, so they have, let's call it 5 minutes of video CNN that they aired, and there's an allegation that they've taken it out of order and they've sped up what we saw on television when CNN played it. I just wonder if CNN still has the original of what they played before they edited it. They clearly have destroyed the original. I just wonder what they still have. If, to your point, Harvey, they have taken that and they have forever altered it so that it can't be recreated and puzzled together, that is a death knell to tape into the potential of the prosecution.
We should explain. I want to get too legal, Jason, but every lawyer learns this in first-year law school. It's called the best evidence rule, that you are looking for the best evidence, which is the unedited version. If there's an edited version, it's inconceivable to me that a judge would allow that in before a jury, because it doesn't necessarily represent the actual events, even though you could argue, well, it basically does not good enough under the best evidence rule.
Probably.
You have to have the full, unfiltered, unedited version of it.
And so if the judge knows that there is, and by that point, by the time the trial starts, CNN certainly will have to answer to the judge, if to no one else.
Now, these court documents,
not to the audience, why they would have destroyed this. But if the judge knows that there actually is more video that we're not going to see, you're right. I don't know how the judge would allow that.
It's just really bad.
Video
basic law.
now these court documents, they filed motions today. I could probably try to get the documents, but they filed motions today. The fuck is this? Yo, I told you, I don't know if the play was for Diddy to go to jail, man. Y'all gotta realize why this happened, man. This ain't happened. This happened. You know why it happened. Y'all gotta realize what this thing was about. This is about teaching Diddy a lesson. I don't think it was about Diddy going to prison. Now I know the YouTubers sold everybody this dream and this narrative that the whole Hollywood is being taken down and all that dumbass shit, but that wasn't reality, man. That wasn't reality.
A new audio recording appears to back up Hova's claim that the woman was lying about the
Look, all this shit falling apart. Everything falling apart. The claims that they put on Jay-Z fell apart. Like, I don't know what was going on, man, or what that shit was about, but I don't think it was about jail time.
So Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro,
It don't make sense.
They have a recording. In fact, they've now released a recording of the private investigator who met with the Jane Doe accuser, and the Jane Doe accuser says that Jay-Z did not assault her, or answers a question.
Yo, the only reason you will alter the video is if you're trying to paint a narrative. Why are they trying to paint a narrative as opposed to just getting the truth out there? If he did what he did, put it out there. But instead, they altered it. They took things out of context. They put this part of the video in the beginning, put this, like, yo, that's dirty. And that's intentional. And the only reason they would get rid of it is because they know they ain't supposed to have it. Just in case the investigation was to ever come, because it is an investigation going into how they got that tape. That's the only reason you would get rid of the original copy. And what do we know about the tape? Diddy brought the tape from the hotel. It was only one copy. So how did CNN get the only copy of the tape? Homeland Security did it. The feds did it. What I've been telling y'all since the beginning. Go back to the first video, maybe first or second video, when this tape got released. I said, man, the feds released that. It's obvious that they released the motherfucking tape. Now, they never going to admit it, but that's the reason for discarding it. To hinder the investigation into how they got it. Now, TMZ would never tell you that, because TMZ is, part of the play.
And in that way.
Right.
He was just there, but he didn't have anything to do with any sexual acts towards you. It was strictly, yeah.
But there's a problem.
And then they bring up Tony Buzbee,
Her lawyer.
Jane Doe's lawyer, right?
And Buzbee has a tape as well.
Yes, and on Tony Buzbee's recording, Jane Doe basically denies what she said on the previous recording.
See, that's the thing, y'all, because I know how these people are dirty, man. See, the average person that never been in trouble think this is an honest system and it's built off of evidence, but it's not. And I know that just from my situation. I told y'all in my situation, they allowed a person to plead guilty to a crime they know he didn't commit. It don't get no dirtier than that. So I look at the system from a different view than even the average person that's been arrested. Because I've seen the dirty side. I've seen evidence that say this person wasn't there, and the system allowed this person to plead guilty to a crime he didn't commit, only to convict other people. The average person ain't seen that before. So the average person look at the video like, damn, that's what they got. And then when you got YouTubers that spinning the narrative, we don't know who they work for. They present themselves like the independent media, but I think we know better than that by now. So you don't know what line they toting. But over here, we ain't got no affiliation. I'm just interested in the truth. I ain't trying to sell you no views. I ain't trying to paint no narrative. I'm just telling you the truth as how I see it, based off the evidence.
That they have you on tape denying that Jay-Z assaulted you. Is that true?
No.
Like I told everybody, this case is getting tossed out. How many people on the internet sold y'all this narrative that Jay-Z going down? And I told y'all this case is bogus because we read them. Them Diddy lawsuits are bogus. Everyone. But the narrative is already out there. I told y'all from the beginning, this is about the jury pool. This is about damaging the minds of potential jurors. There's not a juror that's going to walk into that courtroom and think not guilty. So now it's an uphill battle. They're not coming into this on an even playing field.
I never said that.
How do you make any sense of it? I mean, she said yes to them, no to them.
Jane Doe was also heard on the first tape saying that Tony Buzbee
Someone kind of pushed me towards going forward with him. With Jay-Z. Buzbee did? Yeah.
And then when she talked to Tony Buzbee, she said, I never said that. So how are you going to believe anything?
She's an unreliable witness, for sure.
Well, but I also think that Jay-Z's side, this is a real awkward presentation of evidence. To take 1 minute cherry picking.
I agree with you.
But I think this was a mistake.
When you get 1 minute.
I don't think this audio plays for Jay-Z quite as well as he would hope.
Okay, this is really interesting.
Well, it's going to get interesting-er because this thing is far from over. Stay tuned, everybody.
And Tony Buzbee is an extortionist, y'all. That's what he does. He shake down entertainers. Ain't no telling who the fuck he worked for. I think they be sending him on missions. Think about Deshaun Watson's situation. The minute Deshaun Watson wanted out of Houston, all these allegations came down on him. Guess who took the case up? Tony Buzbee. The minute Diddy was under fire, guess who took the case up? Tony Buzbee. You just gotta pay attention to what's really going on, man, and stop watching them YouTubers that's lying. A lot of them motherfuckers are lying, man. Or just don't know enough to even speak on situations. It don't matter if they got 1 million subscribers. It don't matter if they got 500. They ain't that. Let's see if CNN spoke on the Diddy shit. Yeah. They probably ain't gonna put out no video, no response. Nope, saying that ain't saying shit. Vandy did an article on it. They got rid of the fucking tape. They some dirty buff. Hey yo, they is some dirty buff. So all this time, they using this tape to keep Diddy detained, and they don't even got the fucking tape. Wow. Exactly, kid. Remember? See, but that's the thing, kid. If you're not over here, you don't even know that. You know what I mean? Ain't no other YouTuber telling people that. There is not another YouTuber on here that I've seen that's telling people, yo, they're announcing lawsuits before they file them. Who else did that? They've been announcing, yo, that shit should be illegal. How do you announce a lawsuit before you file it? It's like a fucking, it's like praying for $1 million and think that you got it because you already prayed for it. Like it doesn't make sense. But they are damaging people's reputations. Jay-Z said he lost $20 million behind that old 13-year-old girl debacle. So he lost $20 million because of that. Like, yo, that should be illegal. Tony Buzbee did an interview. Matter of fact, let's go to it. Tony Buzbee press conference. Because see Jennifer, that's what they doing. I don't know how that's what they doing. They're using that tape to say that Diddy is a danger to society. Look at the tape. This is the evidence. You gotta realize Cassie is the victim. So by Cassie being the victim, allegedly, and you got this tape of him whipping her ass, that's what it looks like. That's to say, he got to stay in jail because we don't want this to happen again. So that's what they've been doing. But you got this guy, fucking extortionist. Deshaun Watson need to sue his ass back. All the fucking pain he caused. 222,000 people watched this video. He did a whole press conference, announced 120 lawsuits, and ain't filed more than 15 of them bitches. But most people don't know that. Most people just say, well, Diddy got 120 lawsuits out on him. That's not true. And all these lawsuits are frivolous if you read them. They are frivolous. Listen to this nigga.
We thrive in the complicated cases. We've handled over the last 25 years some very big and very important cases. I believe that this one may surpass them all. There are many facets to this. The conduct we will describe today occurred over more than 20 years. There are many people and many entities involved. And we're going to follow this evidence wherever it takes us. We will find the silent accomplices.
The tape did put him in jail.
We will expose the enablers who enabled this conduct behind closed doors. We will pursue this matter no matter who the evidence implicates.
Let me tell you something.
These brave victims who have stepped forward.
You can talk to witnesses. There's no evidence that Diddy threatened any witnesses. There's no evidence. See, Jennifer, you watching them dumbass pages, they ain't telling you the truth. Once you listen, man, I read all the lawsuits. I read the documents. I know what I'm not making this up. It's fact versus fiction. I'm telling you what's really going on, not what the internet is spinning. I know people don't like Diddy. Diddy did a lot of fucked up shit. I get it. But the justice system is supposed to be built on facts, not feelings. They don't have the facts. There's no facts that say Diddy sex trafficked anyone. Yo, the prosecution was so dirty. Let me tell you what they did. The prosecution was so dirty that when they filed for these house raids, they didn't even tell the judge that Cassie was the fucking victim. Think about that. Think about how important that information that Cassie, who was in a 9-year relationship with Diddy, 9-year relationship, how important was that to leave out the original, the request for a warrant, for the request for the house raid? So the judge is looking at this paperwork saying that Diddy sex trafficked this woman. And they failed to mention that the woman in question, he was in a relationship with for 9 years. Think about that. Think about how that changed the whole dynamic of the situation. Versus a woman you don't know to a woman that you was in a relationship with for 9 years. That's what they did, man. It been dirty the whole time. And R. Kelly got done dirty too. Because R. Kelly, it should have been some people that went to jail with R. Kelly. It should have been, if they was going to lock up R. Kelly, It should have been some people that went to jail with R. Kelly. Some parents that went to jail with R. Kelly. How you lock R. Kelly up and not lock up the parents that preyed on R. Kelly with their children? It was in text messages. We read that over here.
Deserve nothing less. The biggest secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world. The wall of silence has
Who is that? I don't know who the Ava Law firm is. I don't know. I ain't never looked into them. But I know he's bogus. I know for him to get up on here and grandstand about lawsuits that he haven't filed, that shit should be illegal. How many people knew he didn't file these lawsuits? How many people knew that he didn't file these lawsuits? He only filed like 15. Out of this 120, he only filed 15. I can only go by what they say in court, Jennifer. I know what they said in court, and I know how it's being spent versus what's really going on.
Victims are coming forward. Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us.
Listen to that. Yo, that is what? Yo, since I got y'all attention, let me show y'all this. Let me show y'all Ariel Mitchell, the other girl. Let me read this to y'all real quick. The dirty shit she did. Listen to this. Let me show you. All right. Oh, I got K-Flock indictment. All right, we got to go into K-Flock indictment later on tonight, y'all. Man, sweet the flam flam for always coming through with the paperwork. Let me show y'all how dirty she is. Remember her? Let me show you who she is first before we get into it. Let me show you how dirty she is. See, nobody else is doing this. Everybody else trying to play on y'all for views. Let me show you what she did. Look at this dirty shit. Look at this. So Jennifer, you believe that the whole time. So Jennifer, you believe that the whole time that Diddy was on the red carpet with Cassie, they doing music together, that he was sex trafficking her on the low. As the people, we that damn stupid. We can't. So we basically, you calling all us stupid. We sat there and watched this relationship play out for years, and nobody knew she was being sex trafficked. Nah, man, that's bogus. That's bogus, Jennifer. I think I'm a little smarter than that. I think we all a little smarter than that. Now look at that. Look at this dirty lawyer.
He told the grand jury today, and after
listen to this dirty ass lawyer. See, nobody else is telling y'all this shit.
Coughs and parties. His name is Courtney Burgess.
Let's go back.
Because my next guest just testified before a federal grand jury. He says he was in possession of a trove of digital evidence from Diddy's freak-offs and parties. His name is Courtney Burgess, and he says a friend gave him 11 flash drives that belonged to the late Kim Porter. And if you follow this story, you'll know that Kim Porter is Diddy's ex-girlfriend and the mother of 4 of his kids. On those drives, the witness says 8 videos featured
2.8 million people watched this
at Diddy freak-offs or parties, and that 6 were males, 2 were females. The drive also included a manuscript of an alleged Kim Porter memoir, a memoir that her 4 kids insist is fake. Courtney Burgess told his story on a podcast before he told the grand jury today, and after he told the grand jury, and I mean immediately after, he booked it over to my set, and he and his attorney talked to me. I should tell you that it was very limited.
Listen to this, and then listen to this document I read to y'all. But this not what people not interested in the truth.
and how much detail he could go into about his testimony. And because the 8 people in the videos, the 8 celebrities in the videos were allegedly victims of sex crimes, we know who they are, but we will not be naming them, famous or not.
Because they lying.
Here now is my conversation with Courtney.
They're lying. They're lying. You know who they are, but you're not naming them. 8 celebrities that can fucking take this fucking video from 2 million to 70 million, but you ain't naming them. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Ariel Mitchell, who's his attorney, beginning with the question of whether the participants in the video even knew they were being recorded. Were there any cameras in places where you'd assume privacy, like bathrooms?
Well, I've never been in this house, but the picture, yes. Yes.
Man, you already know, 2800. This shit different. This ain't your average YouTube page, man. We keep it all the way real over here, man. Whatever real sound like, that's what we is. That's what we on.
You're aware of surreptitious cameras that were recording in private places like bathrooms.
I didn't see the cameras. You could tell how the person was angled. I knew that it was a camera there because I was there. You know, I wasn't there. I don't know if the person was too tall, if he was holding or whatever, but I wasn't there.
May I ask you this, Courtney? And Ariel, you can jump in on this as well, but I want to hear from Courtney first. Your home was raided by federal authorities, and I assume it is because of this material. Is that true?
I wouldn't say that. They just went to every one of them looking for me. They said the paperwork said the 24th, that I had to be there the 28th, and then it was the 27th. I can't make it there. That's tomorrow. So I don't know. From the look of it, was 4 days.
And I want to be specific. When we talk about a raid, we're talking about when a subpoena is served for documents, a search warrant, or an arrest warrant. In this situation, Mr. Burgess was not in any way, shape, or form had a search warrant or an arrest warrant issued for him.
I'm not saying Diddy is innocent of things he's done in his past. I'm saying this is bogus. That's what I'm telling y'all. All of this coverage is bogus. It's lies. It's fabricated.
It's just them serving a subpoena. So when the federal government needs to serve a subpoena, they use the Marshal Service to come to all of your residences if you have more than one residence. So in this situation, they sent marshals to all of Mr. Burgess's residences, and that was somehow construed or...
No, Jennifer, what I'm saying is it's highly unlikely. Do y'all know what they're... Listen, do y'all even know what they're alluding to as sex trafficking? No, more than likely no, because nobody covers it. What the government is saying is because Diddy basically controlled Cassie's life. He controlled her career. He controlled her finances. That she couldn't consent to sex. That's what they saying. So in married couples or couples where the man is the breadwinner, he financed everything, his wife can't consent to sex. It's the same. There's no difference. It's no difference. Basically saying that because he controlled her life, she was basically under his will. That's bullshit, y'all. That's bogus.
Understood or turned into a raid, but he did not face a raid. It was just to serve him a subpoena.
Ariel, do you believe that the subpoenas were issued and executed based on the federal authorities' knowledge that these flash drives existed and had this kind of compromising material?
I think it was based on statements that Mr. Burgess made in a prior interview.
And those statements include descriptions of what the witness says he saw on those tapes. So I asked him about that, and he answered what he could, given the was 8 celebrities, 6 men, and 2 women. How many of those 8 celebrities.
I don't even think. I don't even think Cassie was interested in the prosecution. This prosecution came from somewhere else. Cassie wanted money. Like, when have we ever seen, y'all, somebody pay a lawsuit didn't get charged for it? I say that all the time because nobody's ever answered that question. When have we ever seen that? Typically, when you pay a lawsuit, that's so you don't get charged. That man paid the lawsuit and got charged for it. That's not how that go, y'all. Typically, a person get charged first, get found guilty, then the lawsuits come. Not vice versa, man.
Being underage or potentially underage.
2 males.
2 males. And of those
2 underage males.
Celebrities, how many of them were intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
This is going to be all speculation. I just want to preface it by he wouldn't know if they were.
Right. Look, now it's all speculation. The first interview, she didn't say that. That's how you know the lies unraveling. You notice you haven't heard from her lately. Where she been at? Know where she been at? Being sued for $50 million for going on the press run making up stories.
Let me rephrase it.
They're not dropping no names.
Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appear to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence?
All of them. All of them.
Out of those 8, how many appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all. To be honest, all.
Were victims?
It is terrible, man.
They were all 8 were victimized, meaning this was happening to them and they were inebriated.
Right. Not knowing, I guess, how much proof it was in it, what they was doing.
And of those
this is disgusting,
8,
y'all.
how many seemed to be potentially
This is disgusting,
minors?
y'all.
2 to 3, possibly 3.
Exactly, Justice. You get it.
2 to 3. Also on the flash drives, Courtney.
They're trying to kill him in public opinion because they don't have a case. So they killing him in public opinion.
What looked to be a manuscript written by, it appears to be a woman who had taken Kim Porter's private journals and had written a book. Is that accurate?
We don't know. We don't know how. Yeah.
I don't know how who wrote it, put it together, but it was from her when I spoke to her.
Yo, this guy put out a whole book. Man, now let's go to the lawsuit. Listen to this shit. See, the YouTubers that's pushing that narrative to y'all, they're not reading y'all this. Because they pushing the narrative. They're not really interested in the truth. Now listen to this. Listen to what actually happened. You heard what they said. Now find out what's actually going on. Hold on. I got this paperwork a minute ago, so let me go back. It's just amazing to me. Like, these people are fucking worse than the devil. It's amazing to me how you can get on a platform and lie like that, knowing what that can do to a person. You know what that can do to a person. Mind you, he still got a criminal case he fighting. So you going on platform after platform, making up stories, lying. Meanwhile, he fighting for his life. Wish there was a better way I can find this instead of having to go through all of this. All right, I think I'm coming up on it. Diddy superseding. New trial, OTF. Diddy superseding. Three associates. Diddy lost. Diddy. No Drake allegations. Megan Thee Stallion. Diddy tapes. Y'all know in the tapes it say Cassie looked like she the aggressor and having more fun than everybody, right? Did y'all know that? All that's in documents. For her to be sex trafficked. Seems like she was having the time of her life. How many people knew that? I got past it. I just read it the other day. Motion. Hold up, y'all, 'cause y'all gotta see this. I think I passed it, man. God damn it. I passed it. Hold up. Diddy Cassie tapes. See, because Long Crime Network, here you go. Long Crime Network ain't gonna read you that because they pushing the narrative. So Diddy is suing them for $50 million for going on platform after platform lying. So listen to this. So look at this. Can y'all see that? That's clear to everybody? Social media protagonists, including but not limited to defendant Burgess and Mitchell, have for months been fueling a media frenzy, fabricating outlandish claims and stirring up baseless speculation about Mr. Combs, vying to outdo each other in a shameless competition to draw attention to themselves with no regard for the truth. In this pitiful spectacle, all pretense of objectivity has been abandoned as a global audience feasts at the all-you-can-eat buffet of wild lies and conspiracy theories. Defendants are among the worst perpetrators in this offensive scenario. They eagerly caught every opportunity to broadcast blatant falsehoods, pretending they have proof that Mr. Combs engaged in heinous acts, knowing that no such proof exists. This is what we're dealing with, y'all. This is what we're dealing with. So let's go to some of the lies. Millions of people have come to believe in the made-up evidence that defendants have falsely described and vouched for. The torrent of lies and the immeasurable harm and prejudice it's causing Mr. Combs must stop. Defendant Burgess falsely claimed that he possessed videos of Mr. Combs involved in the sexual assault of celebrities and minors. Burgess repeated his false claims many times to anyone who would listen, including reporters for major news outlets, including News Nation. Ain't that what this is? Ain't this News Nation right here?
What you received on the
News
flash
Nation.
drives. What?
So let's get back to the truth. Which recklessly repeated and amplified his lies as if they were true. Thus, Burgess' baseless lies were rebroadcasted on social media and traditional media platforms that reach millions of viewers in the United States and abroad. His attorney Mitchell repeated those lies. Like Burgess, Mitchell knew that her client claims were false, or at minimum was utterly reckless in disregarding their falsity, because no such tapes exist, and because Mitchell never saw any video depicting Mr. Combs sexually abusing anyone, adult or minor. Mitchell's many false assertions that Burgess possessed such videos were either knowingly blatantly falsehoods or recklessly false statements made as the direct result of Mitchell's inexcusable failure to investigate her client's outrageous lies. Burgess peddled his false and defamatory statements about Mr. Combs to promote himself on social media. Mitchell did the same. Both seek to capitalize on the resulting publicity for financial gain. Together, Burgess, Mitchell, and News Nation have caused profound reputational and economic injury and served prejudice to Mr. Combs. In this action, Mr. Combs seeks money damages, including punitive damages, for the harm of the defendant, false and defamatory statements have caused. This is the truth. So we separating fact from fiction. Listen to this. Defendant Burgess has been described as a one-time industry bit player and a fringe character in recent months, seeking to capitalize on the media insatiability appetite for celebrity scandal. Burgess has gone to great lengths to invent and publicize outrageous falsehoods about Mr. Combs. In media interviews, Burgess claims he has worked in the music industry for decades, yet there exists no public records of any professional achievements, and he left no detectable footprint on the industry prior to his recent campaign to malign Mr. Combs, his malicious conduct, which, according to the New York Times, has only amped up the circus-like frenzy surrounding Mr. Combs' case, is intended to garner publicity and profit from the attention surrounding Mr. Combs' legal proceedings. It's not just News Nation. It's Tony Buzbee too, Jennifer. See, Jennifer, if you want to believe the lies, believe it. If you want to believe the lies, believe it. If you don't want the truth, just say you don't want the truth. Say you enjoy the circus. You enjoy being lied to, but that's not what we do over here, Jennifer. You've been over here before. That's not what we do over here. We tell the truth. Now, if you want to believe the lies and you think it's a Diddy list coming out and this is the end of the end, hey, believe it. I'm just telling you, you're fucking believing in Santa Claus. Yet Burgess has made this false claim numerous times to the press and in social media appearances. In one such interview broadcasted October 31st, 2024 on the Atwood Unleashed YouTube channel, Burgess elaborated on his false claim that he received these materials directly from Kim Porter. Host Sean Atwood, whose YouTube channel boasts 946,000 subscribers, including, upon information and belief, numerous subscribers in New York, where Diddy case is, as Burgess, upon information and belief, must have known, introduced Burgess in one interview by noting that he has certainly been making waves on the internet. Atwood also noted that we've had so much interest in this one and promised to get down with some crazy things that Courtney has personally experienced. On the broadcast, Burgess falsely claimed that Miss Porter enlisted the help of a music industry mutual acquaintance to put her files in Burgess' hands. Specifically, Burgess claimed that this individual called Burgess and told him, "I got something for you. Kim told me to give you something. She got something she wants you to work with." Burgess went on to claim, again falsely, that the same individual later met Burgess in New York and delivered to him the first of several flash drives containing the memoir and videos that Mr. Porter supposedly intended for him to have. Even though Miss Porter had no more than a passing acquaintance with Burgess. Come on, man. Look at this. Listen to this. During the interview, Atwood posted still images that his co-host Tammy Schofield, and Burgess insinuated had come from the video that Burgess falsely claimed Kim Porter had provided to him. They described as depicting Justin Bieber, a famous recording artist, kissing an unidentified male. Atwood asked, "Is this picture legit?" Burgess responded, yes, definitely. Schofield ventured a guess as to the identity of the unidentified male, speculating that it's one of those music execs because, allegedly, a lot of those guys, that's what they're in. They're widows like the rest of them. Having labeled all music executives as widows, Schofield then asked Burgess, "How freaked out were you the first time you got a look at these images? Shocker or what?" Burgess responded that he was freaked out because my daughter was a listener of Justin Bieber. You understand? Burgess stated that Bieber was a child at the time. Burgess characterized Bieber as a victim who loved being treated like that, and that what happens sometimes when you're a kid. Burgess went on to compare Mr. Combs to Lucifer, claiming that Mr. Combs, like Lucifer, destroyed bodies. He destroyed careers. He could get you where you want to be at, but where you're going to give up the back end. Yo, this is fucking lies, y'all. Think about this, y'all. Think about the type of human being that you got to be to do this to somebody. Can't know anybody just do this. You got to be a despicable piece of shit to get on platforms and put these wild ass allegations on a person. Let's continue. Burgess, Atwood, and Schofield also commented on an image that appeared to depict Mr. Combs with his arm around an adult woman's shoulder. Despite the absence of any indication in the image of any untoward conduct, Burgess suggested that the woman was underage. I think she's about 18 right there. She looks about 18. Following up Burgess' comment, Schofield falsely suggested that the photograph evidence sexual misconduct with minors. Yeah, it's just it's disturbing how the number of people who appear to be underage and all these things. They fucking lying, y'all. You know, I think the problem, what we're going to see on these superseding indictments, it got to be, man. It just keep coming back to the underage thing again and again and again. It's terrifying. The fuck is wrong with these people, man? Burgess and Schofield's statement about these images on Atwood Unleashed broadcast was specifically and maliciously intended to convince viewers falsely that Burgess possessed, and Atwood and Schofield had seen evidence that Mr. Combs had engaged in sexual abuse of celebrities and minors, even though they knew those claims were false when they made them. On the same broadcast, Burgess insinuated falsely that talking about Mr. Combs in a fake memoir and videos put him in danger for his life. Burgess also described his efforts to market the fake Porter memoir on Amazon.com, which he initially gave the ghoulish title Kim's Lost Words. After the book was denounced by Mr. Porter's family and others as fake, Amazon pulled the volume from his website. Subsequently, Burgess marked another equally false and defamatory version of the book titled Kim Porter, Tell It All, on a different website. Burgess described the second version as rated R, in contrast to the earlier PG version of the fake memoir. Yo, this is fucked up, y'all. This fucked up. Let's go to the look. In exchange, this is why they're doing it. In exchange for press appearances to discuss the allegations against Mr. Combs, Mitchell has demanded luxury accommodation, including first-class flights to New York City, a minimum 2-night stay at 4 minimum-star hotels, on-site hair and makeup services, meals and snacks, and unspecified material fees. She has insisted, moreover, that such interviews must occur in New York City. After Burgess engaged her, Mitchell continued peddling false claims to various media outlets, for example, in a television interview with News Nation that was broadcast on or about September 27, 2024. Mitchell falsely stated that they already had been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood, presumably referencing Burgess or one of his affiliates. Mitchell continued, one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became public knowledge. Mitchell described the request as a catch and kill and stated that Mr. Combs was in the tape and this other person was, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs. Y'all remember she said that? Mitchell falsely confirmed that the video exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's the person in the video. And I can tell you that the video is pornographic in nature. I remember that interview. With no evidentiary support, the News Nation host, speaking about Mr. Combs' home, then said to Mitchell, it sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Mitchell falsely confirmed this, and then further stated that based on her review of the supposed false evidence, it doesn't seem like the person knows they're being videotaped. It is like they're being surreptitiously recorded. These statements were false. Mitchell never possessed pornographic images involving Mr. Combs and any celebrity, was never able to confirm the existence of any such video of Mr. Combs, was never in possession to confirm that any celebrity was surreptitiously recorded in a sex act with Mr. Combs, and thus knew or recklessly disregarded that her statements were false when she made them. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. This is fucked up. And it's crazy that y'all can see this and still think the same thing. That's the most damaging thing about it. I realize, yo, that people just want to believe in magic. I think, you know, when you was a kid, you believed in the Easter Bunny, you believed in Santa Claus, you believe. Yeah, I think people just want to believe it. People just want to believe that Diddy sex trafficked Cassie, that all these lawsuits is true, but they're not. They're not. That's the reality of it. It's documented. It's documented. Now CNN got rid of the tape. Now CNN got rid of the tape. So what's next? What's next for the prosecution? And the reason they got rid of the tape is because they know who they got it from. They know they weren't supposed to be in possession of that tape. So in order for it not to trace back to sender, they got rid of it. But they thinking that, you know, I'm sure they got another copy, but no, the prosecution was so malicious. They wanted to push this narrative so bad that they rushed and gave them an original fucking tape. That's what they did. That's the only thing they could have did. That's the only thing that makes sense as to why you would get rid of the tape. There's no other reason why you get rid of the tape that I can think of. Y'all want to continue? To see how bad it gets? It gets worse. It gets worse. Listen to this. Mitchell falsely represented that her client fabricated claims were corroborated, even though Mitchell knew they were not. Specifically, Mitchell falsely stated, "We also have a police report that was made in 2018. Later in the interview, the host repeated Mitchell's assertions, emphasizing, "You guys actually have one?" The host then asked, "Are we going to be able to see it?" Mitchell falsely confirmed that she would produce the report. She answered the host, "Yes, as soon as I file my lawsuit in civil court." Another interview about a lawsuit that ain't been filed. "I will be attaching the criminal complaint that was made." These statements, in which Mitchell claimed to possess a police report corroborating her client's fabricated allegations, were false. Mitchell knew they were false when she made them. Roughly 2 weeks after the News Nation broadcast, Mitchell filed the lawsuit she had previewed. Contrary to her false assertion, the lawsuit did not attach any police report. Subsequently, the Walnut Creek Police Department denied having any involvement in the allegations made by Mitchell's client. The Contra Costa County Sheriff's Office released a statement that they had thoroughly investigated the accusation and determined the claims were unfounded. Burgess and Mitchell repeated false and defamatory claims that Burgess possessed videos depicting Mr. Combs sexually assaulting celebrities, including minors, led federal prosecutors to subpoena him to a grand jury. Ain't that what they were just talking about? Do we got to go back to this video? Let's listen to him now, since we know the truth. Now, since we know the truth, let's listen to the lies.
Was it the completed book, or was it notes from Kim Porter that later were made into a book?
It was completed. It's only 60. Okay. Only about 54 pages. It was.
Sure, and in the beginning, it says, "Kim made me promise that if something happened to her, I would make sure this book became public to the world. The way Sean moved, I knew that was a promise I would have to fulfill. Kim knew I was a woman of my word, and this book was going to make it to print." So it sounds like it is a woman who wrote up the notes from Kim Porter. Does that sound accurate?
It's how you read it, yes. I haven't even read the book.
Do you know who the woman is?
No.
And to be clear, he received it in its complete form. So I think just to make sure we have some clarity here, the manuscript that Mr. Burgess received was already in its complete form. It's not that he edited it or changed anything.
Got it.
He did give it to someone
Makes
else
sense.
who then edited it, but that's not how he received it.
Okay, so Ariel, did your client Courtney receive the book from the woman who seems to have written it, saying, "I'm a woman of my word, and this book is going to make it to print"?
I don't know if he received it from a man or a woman. He can answer that.
I received it from a man. I tell you, somebody she was dating.
Listen to this shit, yo. All fucking lies.
Do you
Lying with a straight face. I'm disgusted at this black woman and this motherfucker. Like, black people sitting there lying on another black man for monetary gain. Yo, that shit is disgusting. Y'all want to go back to the documents, or y'all want to hear more lies? On the day he appeared before the grand jury, Burgess and Mitchell gave an interview on the courthouse steps, during which they acknowledged that the U.S. Marshals had visited his residence to ensure compliance with the subpoena. In this and subsequent press and social media appearances, Burgess and Mitchell continued to repeat false and defamatory claims that Burgess possessed videos depicting Mr. Combs' sexual assault on celebrities, including minors. For example, on or about October 31st, 2024, Burgess and Mitchell appeared on News Nation Banfield show. The host introduced the interview by announcing that Burgess just testified before the grand jury. That's the video we're watching now. He says he was in possession of a trove of digital evidence of Diddy freak-offs and parties. His name is Courtney Burgess, and he says a friend gave him 11 flash drives that belonged to the late Kim Porter, Diddy's ex-girlfriend and mother of his 4 kids. On those drives, the witness says, 8 videos feature 8 celebrities at Diddy freak-offs or parties, in that 6 were males, 2 were females. The host went on to note that because the 8 people in the videos, the 8 celebrities in the videos were allegedly victims of sex crimes, we know who they are. Remember she said that? But we will not be naming them, famous or not. This statement was false, and News Nation host knew it. It was false, or at minimum, recklessly disregarded whether the statements were true or false, because she had never seen such videos, because they do not exist. They do not exist. During the broadcast, Burgess and Mitchell confirmed that Burgess had been subpoenaed to a federal grand jury in Manhattan. In response to the host's question, Burgess falsely stated that all 8 celebrities who were recorded having an intimate relationship with Sean Combs, 2 or 3, possibly 3, appeared to be minors, all appeared inebriated, and all, to be honest, were victims of sexual assault. Burgess also repeated his false statements about the fake memoir. The host asked him, "Do you know if the notes from the book really were from Kim Porter?" She just asked him that. He responded, "Yes, because I spoke to her probably like 6 hours before I got it, received it." In another interview, Burgess claimed that the federal law enforcement seized the flash drives from his home. This, too, was false. On October 7, 2024, Mitchell also falsely claimed that she had done research indicating that baby oil may be used as a conduit for transmitting drugs mixed into oil to another person for the purpose of incapacitating them. Mitchell suggested, moreover, that Mr. Combs did this to one of her clients, i.e. mixed drugs with baby oil and doused her client with it, thereby lowering her defense. That statement was a lie. Mitchell performed no such research, and even if she had, there is no scientific basis for asserting that baby oil can be infused with drugs to incapacitate anyone. Man, I'm done. I think y'all get the point by now.
know if the notes
I know,
from
bad
the
guy.
book
Nobody
really
had. They
were
playing with my
from
numbers.
Kim Porter?
It was, yes, because I spoke to her probably like 6 hours before I got it, received it.
Hey, what's up,
Big
dude?
ideas.
You spoke to Kim Porter?
Yes.
So Kim
Just
Porter.
saying hi.
Okay.
Just saying hi. Didn't
Okay, Ariel, go ahead and give me clarity on the timeline.
No, I'm trying to get him
Ariel.
to provide clarity of was there a conversation with
No,
her
I was
or
talking
Yeah,
to
straight
the
up.
person.
You just gotta
and he
find
said,
it.
Hold up, this
They
is
try to keep
Courtney
it hidden.
Giver here. Let me say something to him. He said, I know him, put me on speaker. Then that's how we end up speaking.
And then later, somebody else came and brought you the manuscript.
Right. Before I left ATL.
He doing all this on the fly.
To the best of your knowledge, Courtney, do you believe that the manuscript is truly based on Kim Porter's diaries? Because there is a lot of dialogue in there. It is pages and pages of actual dialogue, which, I mean, I can't remember breakfast today, let alone dialogue from 5, 10, 15, and 20 years ago.
I guess this is a woman's scar. You understand? Maybe, what she been through. It's, I'm not a woman, so I'm just going by how I got female friends and relatives.
Don't exist.
They always come to the house scoring because what went on in their relationship. And you can't, when you're scoring, you can't forget it.
Important to stop down here for a moment and note again that Sean Combs is accused. He has not been convicted of any crimes, and so far everything against him is an allegation.
Look, this how they cover their ass. They give you a whole interview of lies. And then they cover their ass with this. Like, this shit is disgusting, man. This shit is disgusting, man. That's what news has come to. Or maybe it was always like that. But now you got independent news. See, this is why I be trying to explain to y'all why they put certain people in positions, man, because it's hard to control the narrative when you got independent, like real independent news. So they create these news nations. They create Law and Crime Network. They create Tissa Tells. You understand? They create these people that's going to run the narrative for them. That's their job. Their job is to push the narrative, push the agenda. Whatever the agenda is, that's what we talking. But in reality, y'all, this Diddy case is bogus. It been bogus. It ain't no motherfucking Diddy's list. It ain't no list of celebrities. It ain't none of that dumbass shit that they told people. It ain't none of that. If you gonna go outside. But y'all know we go live every day, 11 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. It's another day, keep it G News, and I'm out.